Hello, Brian. I wanted to talk to you, the expert on the visa situation at the moment.
Mhm.
If you could let us know what we can do as a group, as an industry, to prevent this proposed hike in O&P visa fees.
Sure. Let me start just to remind everyone what in fact is happening, so we can get back into the weeds. But basically, right now, to bring in a foreign artist, a performer into the U.S., you have to file a visa petition, either an O or a P petition. Filing fee for that, U.S. government charges $460. If for standard processing, which can be anywhere 6 weeks, 2 months, 4 months. If you want quicker processing, you can pay an extra $2,500 and they'll do it in 15 days. Okay, so now what they're proposing is, and we've had fee hikes before. For those of you, unfortunately, who may have been doing this as long as I have, we can remember the days where it was only $200 and then it went up. Okay, well, now they're proposing to jump from 460 to 1,655 per petition. So what that means is, let's say we have a ballet dancer that's been invited to come and perform at an event. They're only going to be here a week. Now, instead of having $460 plus a union fee, we'll have $1,655. Now, to sort of compound this, there are instances where you're filing more than one petition. So let's say you've got a band coming in. They're going to go on a P1. And the crew, the management, they're going to go on a P1S. It'd be the same thing for an orchestra. Right now, you could put as many people as you want on a P1. So let's say you've got a quartet, chamber group. There's 6 people on the P1, fine. That's going to be $1,655. Not fine, but okay. And then they're going to be filing another petition for the manager or for a tech person for another $655. Okay. Now, remember, if you want premium processing, that'll be $2,500 each on top of that. Now it gets worse, because let's say now we have a classical orchestra, which typically can have 80. I just did one for about 110 people. You're going to have, say, 80 musicians, but now a new rule is that you'll only be able to put 25 people per petition. So let's say now you're having the Berlin Philharmonic or the London Symphony, as opposed to putting 80 people on one petition, you'll have to put 4 petitions, spreading them out over 25 people each at $1,655, plus a P1S if they're bringing librarians, management, production people, at another $1,655. If they need to premium process those because they can't wait the 2 or 3 months, that's now going to be $2,500 on top of those fees. I ran the numbers just out of curiosity, and for an orchestra of about 80 people, that's now would be just in filing fees would now jump from $800 or so to $16,020. If they were going to premium process, that would, I'm sorry, it'd be $6,020, another $10,000 for premium processing. If they have a company by a tech crew, that would be another $1,655 plus $2,500 for processing. So if you premium processed an orchestra now, that would jump to over $20,000, not including the union fees, which we don't know if that's now going to be per petition or not. I don't think it would, but that's there, not including the fact that everybody's got to then apply for visas at a consulate still, which is $190 per person. So it's getting absolutely, it's more than draconian. The other thing they propose, so it's 3 rules. The third rule is that premium processing would not, the cost would not be increased, but it would go from 15 days to 15 business days. So I'm spelling out what's at stake. Here's what we need everyone to do. And here's why I appreciate being able to make this pitch. So the government proposed this. This is the Department of Homeland Security, which is USCIS is part of this. So it's Homeland Security proposed this on January 4th. Welcome to the new year. Thank you so much. Perfect timing for that. Thank you.
Yeah.
And basically, per the Administrative Procedures Act, they have to give everyone about 60 days to make public comments. What we need everyone to do, and this is very different than what we've done in the past. In the past, a lot of the industry has spoken through the service organizations, Opera America, League of American Orchestras, TCG, those groups, to put in letters and objections on their behalf. They are still doing that. However, and we normally say we want to coordinate. Here is one time where we do not. Here is one time where we need every single person. I spoke to an orchestra the other day, and this was actually a British orchestra. And I said, and the Association of British Orchestras is commenting. We have people around the world. And I said, that's great. I need your orchestra to weigh in. I need every musician to weigh in. We need to flood them, because right now, we're not part of this. They actually, in their 200 pages of proposed ruling, claim that they've done a study. And the study specifically on nonprofits and cultural institutions, and are you waiting for this? Are you waiting for this? They have determined that this will have some impact, but very little. And that, according to the research they have done, which we could only assume was the well-known nonprofit institutions of Disney and perhaps Sony Entertainment, this won't really impact us. Maybe a little, maybe just a little, but not a lot. So we have this opportunity for everyone to come in, and it's critically important that this not be the typical response of how important the arts are. We know that, you know that, we're not preaching to the choir. We have to make them understand the economic impact. Tickets that won't be sold, communities that won't have restaurants where people are going before shows. They will not understand once you start getting into the importance of cultural exchange and the rainbows across countries and hands, they could care less. We have to emphasize the economic impact. I know that's difficult for some of us because we don't always like to think that way, but this is our one chance. Right. They will then take all of these comments, review them, and then determine whether or not the proposed increases will go into effect.
Well, so the first question is, I mean, many questions, but the first one is, what do we do? Where do we go right away?
Okay.
And we can also, as part of this, we can be posting, addresses, email addresses to go to, or websites. But yes, tell us what to do. Call to action.
The quick way, basically, comments need to be filed through what's called the Federal Register. The Federal Register used to be a printed thing, but now it's on a website where the government posts all of its proposed rules, everything from where you can throw trash to all kinds of things. You go onto that website, I'm going to make it easier in a second, and you find the proposed rule, and then there's a public comment button. Right now, we have direct links to that in a number of different places. You can go directly if you go to you might write it down here because I always forget. It's federalregister.com, but it's much easier. If you go to, we have on Musical America, on our blog, there is a link directly. You can click on that and it'll take you right to the public comment page. Right. We have that on our website. You can go to the League of American Orchestras. I have to say, League of American Orchestras is sort of the de facto head of an organization called the Performing Arts Visa Work Group. Heather Noonan, who has been a goddess of arts advocacy for as long as I know.
Absolutely.
She leads, and the members include everyone from Opera America, Dance USA, Chamber Music America. We even have the Recording Academy of Arts and Sciences, the Grammy people. We've got the unions all involved in coordinating an effort through Heather. So if you go to artistsfromabroad.org, which is on the League's website, they have a link. And they also have an extra link, which we want to encourage everyone to do, which is, in addition to putting the comment on the Federal Register. We also ask everyone to take the same comment. It's fine, and send it to senators and congressmen.
Right.
And you can also, the league has set up a portal where you can, it's all set up. You just put in who your people are, and it's all set up to send it to the political offices. That's important. I mean, those of you in certain states like Florida, that may be pointless. You might as well send it to Mickey Mouse. But still, other states where they may actually care, we want to make sure everybody knows what's going on,
Right.
because these kind of rules get kind of overlooked, and no one understands until it's too late to do anything about them. So, Music America blog has a link. Our website has a link. League of American Orchestras, Artists from Abroad has a link. You can go directly to federalregister.com, but you got to kind of put in the search for USCIS fees. It's easier to go to.
Right. We can also put up a slide or two. Yes, the deadline is, you had said March 16. I thought it was March 13.
Yeah, it is March 13th. Terribly sorry.
March 13th. That's
March
okay.
13th. It was originally the 6th. That's what confused me. They extended it. So, and again, I want to sort of emphasize, we want people in the US. For those of you who work with artists around the world, I have written several drafts for people outside the US to comment on their impact on the US economy. It's a nuance there because, again, if you've got a group from the UK and you're saying we won't be able to perform, they could really care less. But if you say we come every year to these communities in the US and they won't be able to have us, which means they won't have as many ticket sales, and that's good. Donors, if for those of you with nonprofits, everybody, we are begging everyone to flood with comments. And I'll tell you also why, is because there's not as much opposition to this as you may think. These fee increases are not just for artist visas. They don't even know we exist. There are many different kinds of businesses and industries that use O visas. And these fee increases are not only applying to O's, but every visa category out there for science, for business, for all, they're raising fees across the board. However, the larger industries are going, if we get quicker service, we'll pay it. There really isn't a upscreaming of opposition that I would like to see. So it may wind up falling to us to at least let them know that our little part of the world is really going to be ripped apart. And we're just coming out of COVID, for God's sakes. Yeah. This is how they're helping. So
it also behooves, I mean, ideally, we would reach out to every presenter and performing arts group we could think of.
They all have email addresses for their donors, for their audience people. I would encourage them to put things on their website. I would encourage them to send out an urgent email blast, just like if this was a matching grant. I got 3 offers for a matching grant today for an institution. I don't even know who it is, but I got in their mailing list. So I know they're out there. Let people understand that if you enjoy seeing this, we will not be able to bring this in. The USCIS doesn't quite understand who's paying for these visa fees and costs. And, it's already not cost effective to tour in many ways. And this is going to, so if the donor is sitting there, they always don't understand. They love to come and see the shows and God love them, but how they get to our stages is often a mystery, especially if they're coming outside. Now is a good time to say, speak up. We need your voices. We need the voices. It's easy to say, well, I'm a member of the league or I'm a member of TCG and they will speak for me. No, everyone has got to do this.
Got it.
Really need numbers.
Okay. So I hope everybody who's listening can take that to heart.
We just need to understand that the people we're dealing with only understand money.
Yep. Okay. All right. Okay, so this is a call to action.
Yes.
Thank you, Brian.
Rise up. If I had the Les Mis flag, I'd be doing one day more. One day more. Here we go.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Stay in touch.
Excellent.
Let us know if there's anything more we can do on this end. And we will do everything we can to sort of light a fire.